hitting a guy and then getting off the train while you're still in the train with that dude kind of defeats the purpose of hitting him in the first place. Like, you were doing this to defend her fucking honor, motherfucker. It does look dark.
But you can barely see me. And then all of a sudden, there we
We're
go.
the same color.
Alright,
cheers.
Cheers.
Remember back in the day, I would just keep drinking.
So you remember I was a shotgun the fuck out of everything?
Bro, I was going through our the Instagram and I was looking at our old stuff. I was like, oh my god.
Okay, so anywho, enough about us. Welcome guys. Welcome to Off the Record. I'm Allie. This is the lovely
Natalie.
Welcome on back, guys. I hope that you had a great week. If you didn't, it's okay. You have another one coming up, so you can always like try and get it back on track.
Or it could get worse.
Hey. And guess what?
Sorry.
It's gonna be another week after that. Yep. So there's always gonna be a redo.
And it can always keep getting worse
part.
and worse and worse.
Yeah. Or you can like put down your phone and
that's true.
You know, disconnect a little bit.
Spend some time with your friends.
Yes,
play some games.
Yes, and then you realize life ain't that bad.
Do some drugs.
Just ever so lightly.
Whatever you gotta do.
Whatever you gotta do. But anywho, so we are going to break down the news of the week. It wasn't like too crazy. This cycle was pretty chill for the most part. But you know, we'll get into it. And then I gotta tell you guys about this crazy fucking situation that happened to me. Like, you know, I always got some fucking crazy story.
Always got some downtown. Working in,
yes.
We didn't have it in downtown.
Working downtown.
That's what I'm saying though. Looking like she looks. And working in downtown.
Like, I need to put a mustache on or something. I need to like.
Even then.
I might be able to pull it off. I don't know. But no, it was a little bit wild. So so after it happened, I had talked to my boyfriend about it, and then I posted about it on Threads just because. So I never really write too much on Threads, and I realized that like it's a place where you put a lot of stories on there. I just was like, you know what? If this happened to me, like, hopefully somebody else will remember to bring fucking pepper spray with you, bring freaking mace, something, you know, unlike me. So I was like, maybe somebody will be smarter than me and just, you know, take my advice. So I posted it up there and it went way more. It just went way. Yeah. It went wild.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yes. So I can't wait to share with you guys. But first, let's like dive into some of the stuff that happened during the week, okay? All right, guys. So let's check in with the government, see what's going on. Because, you know, a lot of people were laid off because of Elon Musk. And, well, I mean, not just because of him, but because Trump has, you know, had him and Doge basically go through the government and start a mass firing of folks. Because apparently they're trying to, I guess, make the government smaller, all right? I guess they feel like it'll be more efficient by being smaller. Okay, sure. Okay. So, 2 federal judges, though. I mean, I don't know, because it's like,
I don't know.
All the fucking red tape, all the fucking paperwork, all the, I don't know. I just feel like making it smaller with a lot of situations or like a lot of departments already kind of like being overwhelmed. I'm kind of like, is that the best move? I don't know.
Yeah, I got an email from the Pasadena Unified School District about just about them. I think it was just the superintendent just kind of emailing just to like tell people like with like what's going on, like almost like everything's gonna be okay type of situation, or like where there were budget cuts before and then how they, because I guess they got a lot of aid during COVID, so then they've been trying to reduce that, like the spending each year since then, because they knew that like they weren't going to continue to get that much. or whatever, so that they've been trying to reduce it every year, like smaller and smaller. So it was just a weird email to get of them just saying like, kind of, don't worry, like, we're gonna, I know that this is like a hard time. Also too, because in Pasadena, Pasadena PUSD, quite a few of the schools burned down and stuff too. So I know that they're trying to do their best with that stuff and like rebuilding or even like sending kids to different schools and like integrating that. And I don't even know. I know that the middle school I wanted my daughter to go to burned down or is like not in use right now. I don't know if it completely burned down, but it's just like, so there, it was just funny getting that, not funny, but getting the email and being like, oh shit, because I just saw about the layoffs on the Department of Education. So I was like, oh, jeez. Then to get the email, I was like, okay, so I guess it's affecting us little people.
Yeah, man, seriously. Whatever. But it's affecting, like, that's so sad because it's really going to affect the kids. And I started looking into it and, like, it's just so sad of how many people in this country are already illiterate. So defunding the Board of Education or dismantling it, I'm just like...
Especially, I don't know, public education. The people that can't afford private education and you know,
which is a lot of people.
I was talking to a mom that I know and she was telling me how she pulled her son out because of problems at the school and whatever with like teachers and stuff like that, and she's gonna homeschool.
Wow.
And I was like, and she, you know, you should do that for Ava. I'm like, first of all I don't know if I'm qualified. She comes home with her math homework and I'm like, dude, bro, I don't remember how to do fractions. Are you kidding me?
Especially the way that they do it now. I feel like they teach them totally different.
And they have to show their work. And I'm like, I don't know how you got it. Like, we're both...
Yeah, like, shoot, I should be in this class.
They're using diagrams and boxes and stuff, and I'm like, But it's funny because we went to her, I went to her back to school night or whatever, and her teacher he's this older Hispanic man, and he was telling us, don't help them with homework, because homework isn't graded. And he was saying homework is just for him to see where they're at. So if they take a test on Friday and they failed, but they got hundreds on all, or like, you know, they did all their homework and all their homework was right, then he's like, that doesn't make any sense because they're not getting the material. So he's like, if I can see that they're struggling on their homework, then I know who needs help where and whatever. So he's like, don't help them with their homework. So I loved that.
Yeah.
Because I was like, thank God, because I don't even know what the fuck she's learning right now. Like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, man.
But at the same time, a lot of the other parents did not like that. They did not like that. So
calm down. If it's not actually graded, like not actually used against them, chill the fuck out.
I know, I don't know.
Chill out.
But
parents being parents. Anyway, they sound like helicopter moms. Anyhow, so 2 federal judges have mandated that the Trump administration have to rehire thousands of federal workers who were recently dismissed as part of the cost-cutting measures led by Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. So, you know, this is pretty radical because I think that what the Trump administration wanted to do was put all these executive orders in and kind of inundate everyone and kind of overwhelm us and get a lot of stuff under the radar. Or, I mean, I guess, like, maybe not even under the radar, but just, like, really, like, push, like, ambush us in a way. However, there is checks and balances. So that's what I was waiting for this entire time is, like, executive orders can only go so far, and there do have to be, like, other steps that go into motion to actually make it official. So apparently, this judge named William Alsup from California ordered the reinstatement of probationary employees at 6 agencies, including the Departments of Agriculture, Commerce, Education, Energy, Health and Human Services, and Homeland Security, citing improper authority in executing the terminations.
So when they mandate that he hires it back, what does that mean? Does that mean he has to hire them? They have to be hired back? Or is it just saying like you should hire them back? Or what does mandated,
I guess,
mean?
Supposedly, I guess.
Or like you have to figure out how to hire, like...
So I guess
speaking for the common folk over here.
I mean, that's a great question. I mean, I guess supposedly it has to be enforced because apparently the judiciary system is now saying that, like, you can't because it's against the law. I think because federal jobs are, like, really, really hard to lose. I think it's like, I forgot what it is about federal jobs, but basically, like, if you become a federal employee, like, you could basically stay that way for
I've always heard
ever.
It's been a good job in terms of, like, pay and insurance and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
and job security for the most part.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think right.
Sorry.
Right. But I mean, but for real, this really was pulling the rug out from underneath people who thought, that's probably half the reason that they got into it. So I mean, that's a great question though. I'll look more into it, but supposedly, like, he can enforce this. I don't know, like, what is going to go into motion. I don't know if these departments are actually going to do it, especially because I think so many people and organizations are very afraid of Trump now, especially because he's using what everyone respects the most, which is money. So that's what I think is going to make this tricky. Now, apparently, Judge James Burdar from Maryland extended the reinstatement to employees across 18 agencies, emphasizing that the layoffs violated regulations governing mass dismissals and lacked proper procedural notice. So yeah, I think, like, they have to do certain steps to actually lay off people. So apparently, Doge is not following the rules. What a shocker.
Yeah, but it also seems like, I don't know. It seems, what's the word? Like, them saying, like, oh, no, you can't do that. It almost seems like,
it's like
him being like, well, I don't care.
Yeah,
like, okay, what are you going to do? What do you, who's going to enforce them mandating that he gives people jobs back or people get hired back? It's almost like you can, I don't know, I feel like you can say a lot of things, but I think that the process to undo something that's already been done is probably a lot harder than the doing it in the first place. So, I mean, it's just interesting.
Yeah, right. I totally agree. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Apparently, the rulings highlight the judiciary's role in checking executive actions and underscore the necessity for adherence to established procedures in workforce reductions. So we'll see what happens with it. I just thought it was interesting because it was just so sudden, and it seemed as though nobody was stopping it. And then finally, a few judges decided to step forward and push back. And so, yeah, I will definitely be looking forward to see how it actually ends. How it actually turns out. All right, guys. So let's talk about the real life whodunit.
I've been waiting for this update.
I know, dude. Me too. Okay, so if you guys have been waiting for the Gene Hackman update, I've got it for you, okay? This is actually really crazy to me because I just feel like this could be a freaking movie or a freaking episode of some crazy show.
I'm sure it will be.
Yes, dude. It is bizarre, but it makes a lot more sense now.
Okay.
So, what happened to Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa's, deaths is very, very interesting. And what's about to happen to their estate is about to be the next mystery.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so, all right, so there's some new developments that have emerged regarding the deaths of actor Gene Hackman and his wife, Betsy. So, apparently, Hackman has an $80 million fortune that was left to Arakawa. So, apparently, like, if he passes away, that $80 million was going to go straight to her. Now, the thing, though, is that it became kind of tricky because...
Who died first?
Exactly. So, with both passing in close succession, questions arise about the inheritance distribution, as Hackman's 3 children from a previous marriage were not included in the will. That has gotta fucking hurt. Like, whoa. Shit.
I feel like it could really be on, like, either person's part, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
It could be spoiled rich kid part, or it could be asshole rich dad part.
Exactly. Who knows?
Had a new wife, was like, fuck them kids. You know what I mean?
That's what it really be seeming like a lot. But we can't necessarily, say because we don't know.
Yeah.
But it just looks a little bit wild. Like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
All right. So what also is interesting about this situation is that Arakawa's will stipulates that her estate be donated to charity if Hackman predeceased her, potentially leading to legal disputes. So that's why it's interesting, because supposedly if she died before him, she wanted her money to go all to charity.
Okay.
But now it's like you both passed away around the same time. Is the money going to go to charity? Or is it going to go to like...
Because then it would...
The government, which would be, oh my God, $80 million just absorbed into the government. I'm like,
nothing.
That is, nothing. Oh, that sucks. I mean, it's nothing to the government, but I'm saying like to a person, that's a fortune to the common man. You know what I mean? Like, that is crazy. Anywho, so there's also some more updates about like what happened to them. Okay, so I know that's really what you guys are probably like, girl, tell me what's happened with them. Okay, so, okay, I have an update on everybody. So first we'll talk about the dog. So the dog that was locked in the closet. So apparently their dog Xena was found deceased in a crate, likely due to dehydration and starvation. So they probably put her up.
Yeah.
Exactly. And passed away, and poor baby was left in there. I know, so sad. Now Hackman died approximately a week after his wife. So I guess that what they're saying is that Hackman actually had advanced Alzheimer's. Yes, he had advanced Alzheimer's. And apparently Betsy had succumbed to hantavirus pulmonary syndrome, possibly from rodent exposure. So basically she passed away from a very like rare virus that I guess attacked her heart or something. Yeah. And so I guess that's probably why she was in the bathroom. She was going to take her meds or something. And I guess maybe she just passed away unexpectedly. And I guess Gene has Alzheimer's, so he was still walking around the house, not realizing that she had passed away. The dog is left in the crate. And then he ended up passing away in the kitchen just a week later by himself.
That's so fucking sad.
Isn't it crazy?
Oh my gosh. I mean, granted, all of what I've heard or learned about Alzheimer's has been from watching Grey's Anatomy. But it seems like, too, like, who knows if he was in a, what do they call, like, like a state where they're, like present day? I don't remember the terminology, but, like, he's not fluid.
Yeah, like he's not completely there. Like, I'm sure
so
that
it's like, I wonder too, because he could have been, his mind could have been stuck in a different time while he's walking around the house. So it's like he doesn't even really like, oh man. Isn't
that just terrible?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he also, apparently he suffered from heart disease and Alzheimer's. So they're thinking that the combination, not having someone there to actually take care of him.
Yeah.
It all accumulated to him passing away, soon after her.
That's probably that probably would have been a big fear of hers too. Is like, what if something happens to her first when she's the one that's taking care of him?
Right.
Oh, that's so sad.
Terrible. Yeah. But I mean, at least now we know what happened. I think that I was starting to get worried a little bit about
who killed him.
I was a little bit worried that they were gonna like blame it on the gardener who found them or something, and I was like, oh my god, like this is about to be crazy. So I'm really happy that they figured it out, but it is really sad. Yeah, really, it's really terrible. So we're gonna find out what happens with the whole situation. Yeah, with the money. And I really do think that it does highlight how important estate planning is. Like, I remember recently we had to, me and my family had to kind of like convince my grandmother to officially like update her will, because she turned 101.
That's insane.
Yeah, and I don't think it had been updated for like a very, very long time. And so they just wanted to make sure that everything was correct, just in case, and that her wishes were fulfilled. Because she had told us a few times what she wanted to do, but you just never know until it's actually on paper.
Yeah.
So we had her finally put it on paper, but getting her to do it was a lot. Like, it wasn't even like a, you know, hey, like, let's call, you know, we should probably call the lawyer. It was more like, hey, the lawyer's coming today, because she was not down for it at all. I think everyone, well, not everyone, I think a lot of people get this feeling of, as though it is like taboo, as though it is bad luck to talk about your will in estate planning.
I guess I could see that, but
talk about
better safe than
have you heard about the controversy of like the high school track star bopping the other track star upside the head?
Okay, so I scrolled past a video of one girl crying.
Yes,
but I didn't know.
Everywhere.
The headline confused me, so I didn't watch it. I didn't read it. I couldn't figure out which girl that girl was. Was she the one who hit the other girl, or was she the one that got hit?
I think the one that you might have saw, did she have like a bun in her hair?
She was crying.
Like, but yeah, and like a little headband or something like that.
I think so.
I'll pull it up because I did want you to see it. You know, we could always do a little replay. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot.
I didn't watch it.
I gotta show it to you. I saw that video a lot of her crying and basically saying that like it was an accident. I don't know, baby girl. Like, I wanna
see if it looks like an accident or not.
Yes, you're right. Okay, so let's break it down for the folks out there in case you guys don't know what happened. Okay, so we're talking about a high school track star, or basically a high school track meet in Virginia, because it was
not a star.
It was between two high school track runners, but I mean, I don't know if we can really call them stars, but anyway, basically it was like a high school track meet in Virginia that had gained national attention because there was an incident during one of the relay races where apparently one of the competitors got struck in the back of the head with the baton that was being used in the relay race.
Okay.
So Alea Everett, a senior at IC Norcross High School, struck her competitor, Kaylin Tucker of Brookville High School, on the head with a baton during a 4x200 relay. So Tucker sustained a really bad concussion and a possible skull fracture, and all of it was caught on camera. And so a lot of people saw it online, gave their opinion of what they believed happened, and basically, long story short, Everett got a lot of heat because people are saying that they feel as though it was intentional.
The one that hit the other girl. I mean,
exactly.
Because so it's like a baton race. You're in different lanes.
Yes.
I don't understand how you could be swinging the baton to where it hits someone in another lane. Like, maybe something about like the girl in front of you, you're trying to hand off
maybe
to your own teammate. I don't. I mean, I want to see the fucking video.
I got you. Because I knew you was going to say that, girl. I got you. I don't know. I haven't looked at this link. I have my own Instagram. Okay. I got my own official sources. No. I mean, I'll look at this video. We can watch
Source Shade Room.
Literally. I mean, we could use one of the other sources, but I don't know if it's going to be a whole lot of talking.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to get to the shit. Okay, so hold on one second, folks. Hold on. Literally saved it just for this moment so we could make our judgment for the folks at home. All right. There she goes, crying again. She's been crying a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hold on. All right. Are y'all not This is probably the video.
That's the video.
I kind of got cut off when I tried to pass it the first time. So I let her go ahead, so I knew like when I got fully on the curve that I was just gonna have to push through and pass.
She's the one that got hit.
Then out of turn 4.
Oh!
That's terrible, isn't it? Terrible.
Oh!
Immediately disqualified the team from IC Norcross,
Ooh.
but the damage was done.
I still can't believe it. I'm still in shock. Like, everyone's texting me, checking up
Poor
on
girl.
me, and I appreciate that. But, like, I'm still trying to take it all in. I can't believe it happened.
Tucker's now dealing with the effects of a concussion and a possible skull fracture. Now, all the Tuckers want is an apology. and an explanation.
Well,
And some money,
why did you do
and-
it, and why haven't you apologized yet? That curve, I
Okay.
kind of got.
All right, so then let's see let's see what the alleged, you know,
I don't know why the fuck she's crying.
what the opponent.
Okay, hold on. Let's
Yeah,
they're
let's-
still children. Natalie.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm saying that a lot. Relax, they're children.
let's see what she's got to say.
So nobody's gonna believe me because I can admit from the video it does look purposeful, but I know my intentions and I would never hit somebody on purpose. Listen, by myself, nobody's gonna believe me because
I don't know, girl. It just looks so intentional. Now, there was another video that I saw where there's somebody like trying to break it down. And there is another angle. If I can find it, I will share it with you guys. Now, it does. So what they're saying from this other video, just in case I can't find it, is that apparently she's running, and there's a video from behind them, and supposedly her baton got stuck in the girl's shirt. This is what her family members, this is what the opponent who, Alea Everett's family members are saying happened. They're saying that
But
the
did she
baton
say that
got
first?
stuck.
It's like if you don't
Right.
say that the first time, you're like like no, it got stuck, whatever. If you don't say that the first time, then I won't believe you. Because now then it feels like you're making shit up. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree.
You're trying to find how you're looking at all the angles, and maybe you're trying to see how you can make it not as bad.
Look as bad
as it fucking looks,
dude, because it looks terrible.
It looks so bad, dude.
It does look really, really bad.
Because also, like, you also have to see the way her arms were swinging, and then also compare that to how she was running the rest of the race, or before that too. Because if she's not swinging her arms that wide for more than that, then I don't believe that it was an accident.
I agree.
Because runners run. Duh. And then, like, again, you're running a certain way, and all of a sudden when she comes by, like, a swing is intentional. So unless she's really, like, wide-armed or whatever, like, she's really running with vigor and intensement the rest of the race, or before that happened, then maybe I'll believe it. That I was like, okay, well, she's out here flailing
going
her
crazy
arms and shit the whole time. I could see how someone could get caught in the crossfire of that. But if she's not running like that, then she doesn't normally run like that, then I can't. I mean, again, from that angle, it does look super intentional. And then sports are extremely competitive.
Right?
So,
and supposedly, like, when I was watching the other video, it was like supposedly her cousin or something like that explaining like what really happened. But she's like, you know, she wasn't really, I mean, she had more of the race to go. She wasn't really losing. So why are you guys acting like she just...
When you're like maybe one-on-one with someone, kind of, or whatever,
and
you
they
see someone
shit
as an opponent, or you see someone as competition, then it's like, I mean, I played soccer my whole life, and I got into so many soccer fights.
Really?
So many soccer fights. And it's like, the bitches are aggressive. And again, it's like, I feel like anyone who plays sports, women's sports, whatever, it's like people know that. Like, people get aggressive, and there's a lot of people out there that don't play by the rules. Even watching like men's soccer and stuff, you see people being assholes and whatever. And it's like, it's the same with women's soccer. And again, most of the fights I've ever been in my life have been playing soccer.
Wow.
So
hey man, so
it's just like, again, like things happen and people get really aggressive and people play dirty all the time. So I can see that. I mean, luckily for me, back in the day, we didn't have cameras like that recording everything all the time.
Dude, yes. Yes.
But it's like nowadays, it's like you can't do shit like that.
You can't.
You cannot get away with stuff like that.
I feel
maybe on a normal day would have been okay, you're kicked out of the race, you're blah blah blah. I know I've gotten ejected from a couple of soccer games. Yeah. Back in my day. But AYSO soccer games. They were the most pussiest pussies I've ever.
All right.
But AYSO, because it's like I played club and then I played AYSO. AYSO was like it's more of the let's have fun league. But then people would be mad when it's like, I don't know. People would just be mad and they didn't like certain things, so they were. Being their feelings. I got ejected for a lot in AYSO just for simply just. I don't think I played aggressive. But once a bitch tries to slide on me, and like then
a
it's
bitch
like
gotta get slid.
Now it's like, okay, now we're playing aggressive.
Hey, I agree with that though. I get that. So I mean, and yeah, it's competitive sports.
It's competitive sports.
This is a little bit crazy because I mean, it's not even like.
It was
like
filmed.
no, it's supposed to be no
viral.
Contact. Yeah, and it's a sport that you're not even supposed to touch a motherfucker. Like it is pretty wild. And
it's like you've seen stuff. It's like where bitches will grab. I've seen. Like I've played with girls who like have grabbed girls' hair and thrown them on the ground and shit. And you're like, this is soccer, bitch. Like what the fuck?
Out.
So again, it's just crazy. It's like so. I mean. When you play competitive sports, if stuff gets crazy out there.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you've ever played a competitive sport growing up, I think that you just know. So that's why, again, it's like, shit happens. Again, we were just lucky enough to not be filmed back then when we were doing that type of shit. But, I mean, you can't do that nowadays.
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. And so what happened first was, I guess Everett got disqualified from the relay race. As she should.
I think so, of course.
But I guess like a little bit of what Kaylin said at the end, the victim had said that like at the time Everett never came forward and apologized apparently at the meet. Apparently none of her coaches did. Like no one came up and was like,
that's crazy.
We are so sorry that happened or anything, try to explain. So that's why she also feels like it was intentional, which I kind of tend to agree with her because if it was such a terrible accident, why wouldn't you come over and just be so profusely sorry, you know?
Because people, when you hurt someone on accident, you're apologetic. Like, of course you are. I feel like that's just like, that's just human nature, I think. Like, we don't want to hurt people. It's like, again, unless you do some shit on purpose, then you're like, exactly, bitch, thought. But if you hurt someone on accident, I remember there was once, and I saw this coaching my daughter's soccer team, because they're little and they're young, and I remember they get hurt all the time, and just the girls who had accidentally hurt the other girls are the ones that are also crying.
Oh my god.
You know, and they feel so bad. I didn't mean to push you down. I'm so sorry. And they're crying. And it's like, that to me, I mean, I feel like that's the type of behavior you see when something's an accident.
Especially if you're like you feel so bad about it.
Like, that's insane. Especially with like sportsmanship. Again, if you also play competitive sports, you know.
Exactly.
That you just, it's
sportsmanship, dude. Yeah, where the fuck is that shit at?
So unless you mean to hurt someone, then I feel like everyone would be apologetic and be like, oh shit, like I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess since then though, because everybody was wondering like, is she gonna get like charged or something? Because like after that nothing else happened until now. So Everett has been charged with a misdemeanor assault and battery.
That's crazy.
She and her family have faced backlash, including death threats and racial slurs. Supporters, including the Portsmouth.
Racial slurs is crazy when they're both black.
I know. What the fuck is that shit?
I would understand racial. I mean, I would never understand racial slurs. Oh my god, straight. But I mean, like them both being black, I don't see where you can't say something racial about one girl without meaning it about the other.
Yeah. I don't understand. Yeah, me neither. Because
crazy.
They were of the same race.
I can see the back. But also, guys, come on. They're fucking kids, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they're teenagers. They made a mistake.
It's the death threats, yes. And
the death
my
threats,
thing is like,
she should
I understand
be held accountable.
You guys are mad. Yeah. And she should be held accountable. You know? But come on, death threats is
crazy.
It's always the fucking internet, dude. I feel like people
and it's
just
always
feel
old-ass adults. It's always old-ass adults that are behind the keyboard sending those fucking threats. When it's like, these are kids. If we had all of our mistakes that we made, even like up to our 20s, even up to our mid-20s, but even up to list, like, so, I just, it's crazy. It's like we learn to be humans by making mistakes. Like we learn how to go through life by doing shit wrong and being like, oh my god, I never want to feel like that again because that was insane. I can't believe I did that.
Right.
And then you grow up and you move on, and so it's like I'm terrified for my daughter. I'm terrified for her to ever have a phone, which I'm thinking about right now. Mostly because I don't want to have to go through the shit of throwing her a birthday party. But it's like
that shit is hard.
Everything is online. All of your mistakes are online. I just look at, I filmed everything when I was younger, but that's because my parents had a big ass camcorder. So looking back on the stuff that I filmed, I'm like, oh my God, that is embarrassing.
Oh my
but
God.
It wasn't, it's not, they're on cassette tapes right now. You know,
thank goodness. It's not in the cloud.
No, so it's like, nowadays, I just feel it's terrifying to just have everybody know all of your mistakes from the beginning.
And it's there forever, unless you got a lot of dough, and then you can scrub it from the internet.
So again, people make mistakes.
They do, you know? And I do think that she was supposed to get punished. Like, I absolutely agree that, like, something should have happened. But yeah, death threats and racial slurs, let's do better, folks.
You get kicked out. Of the sport.
Yeah.
You know, probably from competing again.
Right.
You make a big mistake and you get punished for it because you hurt somebody.
Exactly.
But at the same time, like the death threats and how public I feel like that this is, I don't think it needs to be.
And she is a kid, and I do feel bad. You know, she's crying, and in every freaking interview she's crying.
Yeah.
And I agree. Kids totally make mistakes. I think that she's
That's how you learn.
That she's getting punished, and I think that just it's a bit too much. Now I will say I am a little surprised though that she's got so many supporters. Like, people are like doing these rallies, listening to her speak and stuff, and I'm like, all right, let's not make someone who did something terrible
It's also
famous.
Both sides of the fucking internet, right? It's the both sides. It's both sides of it. They're two sides of the same coin of the internet. You're gonna get a lot of crazy, insane hate, or you're gonna get a lot of support for some insane, crazy shit too.
True that.
True
that. That is very true.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild. So yeah, that's just, you know, something that has been going crazy online, and we'll see what happens. I guess now that she's charged, yeah, I guess we'll just have to see, like, if she actually gets, like,
how she's sentenced.
Yeah, like maybe she gets like public service,
community service, something like that.
Community service, something, I don't know, which I think would be appropriate. I think that would be appropriate, but like locking her up in jail for a long time, I don't know if it's maybe crazy. Like, you know, scaring her, maybe like, you know, a week or something to a few weeks, like, like, don't ever put your hands on somebody else, because that is very, very serious.
From a kid to an adult are way different too.
Yes, they are. So you better be careful out there, kids, for real. So yeah,
all
just
the kids listening out there.
Yeah, all the little kitties.
Jolynn, I know you're listening. She's like 22.
She's like, what?
All the little babies.
All the little cuties. Okay, so speaking of crazy shit going down, not my best segue ever, but we'll just use it. Okay, so I have to tell you guys about what happened to me, like, heading home. So I was on the subway, and I hate, like,
the subway.
Yes, I was on the subway because, like,
subway. We have subways.
Yeah, dude.
They're underground subways.
LA has some. Well, I don't know about awesome, but LA has a pretty extensive subway, and you can get, like, from one side of the city to the other. The metro is a subway. Yeah.
I thought, but the metro's above ground.
No, it's under. There's two different systems. So there's, like, the buses, and then there's also the subway underground, and then there's also, like, trains above ground.
Transit.
Okay,
I just paid so much for my car in the shop.
Dude, see, that's the thing. I can't even lie.
I wish I did something. But also,
do want to get
the bitches that come off the train. I'm never fucking getting on that train.
Yeah, you're right.
I work right by the metro station.
Yeah. It is crazyville.
There's no
on that
way.
fucking train. I'll tell you that right now. Now, sometimes you get on there and it's chill. You get on, you get nothing, no incidents, you know.
It's a lucky day.
But
It's a high luck day.
Exactly. But every once in a while, you get some crazy shit. So it was just my luck. I got some crazy shit. So I get on the train. Didn't really want to be around a ton of people, and there wasn't too many people on the train. So I went to, like, the far back corner and just, like, sat in the back seat or whatever. And I'm chilling. And then this guy gets on. And he, like, comes over. You know how, like, there's connecting doors? Like, there's doors to the next car. But, like, I don't even know if you can open those when we're in motion. So we started going in motion. He tried to open that fucking door, and I guess it wasn't working for him. So he got frustrated. He looks around and then sits right next to me, like
No.
thigh to thigh.
No.
Now, I wouldn't mind if it was like there's no other seat, you
Yeah.
have to sit next to me. But literally right in front of us were 2 empty seats. And then there's other seats, you know, throughout that are empty. So I'm just like, you could have literally just sat in the one right in front of me.
Yeah.
Whatever. So I'm just like, this motherfucker probably gonna try and start spitting game. Gonna just be a weirdo. I am not for the shit. And like, I look over at him, and not to be that person, but he was just looking a little rough.
Yeah.
Just a little rough. And I was like, no, thank you. And I could smell him. And I was like, I'm good. I gotta get the fuck out of here. So I'm like on the phone with my girlfriend.
On your way home or to work? Okay.
On the way home. So I'm on the phone with my girlfriend, and I'm like, dude, like, hold on. So I you know, I tell dude, like, you know, can I get up so I can get around you? And he's like, what? Da, da, da. And I'm like, well, it's just weird that you sat right next to me, like so close to me, and there's all these other seats, dude. Like, what's that about? And he's like, well, then get the fuck on, or something that he said. And I was just like, what is all of that about? I'm like, why are you mad? I said, I was sitting back here by myself, minding my business. What are you upset for? I'm the one who has to move now.
Yeah.
So I start walking away, and he's like saying shit, just starts cussing at me and getting all extra. And I turn around, and he's like balling up his fist, and he's like, I'm just saying, da, da, da. And I was like, just calm down. I was like, I'm not even trying to start with you. I don't know why you're so upset right now. And he starts acting like he's gonna come over to me, like he's gonna, like he wants to do something to me or whatever. And then these 2 guys who are like one on this side and one on the other side jump up in front of me. Yeah. And they're like, hell no. They're like, no, you're not doing that shit. Like, you're not walking up on no woman or whatever. And then, well, the one dude, like the guy who was like about to come at me, said something like, it's none of your business, or like, you know, what the fuck is it to you or whatever. And they both happen to be black guys. And so they were like, you don't, you know, start getting irate with the woman, or they said something along those lines. And the guy was just like, I don't care, whatever. And the one black guy got so pissed, and he was like, what I'm saying is, you're not fucking assaulting a black woman in front of me. Like, you got me fucked up. He was like, I don't care what your culture is, what the fuck you guys do, but I'm not for that.
What was the dude that...
He was actually Hispanic. I'm pretty sure he was Hispanic. So, I mean, now, I will explain to you guys, because I posted like threads about it online, but I mentioned that they were black, and I mentioned that he said that mainly because I thought it was just like one of those moments that I felt like, oh, okay, this is so contradictory from what people want you to think about black culture, that there's such a division between black women and black men. And so for him to like make that such a point, I just felt like, okay, that was like, I was really touched by that. Yeah. I was really touched, especially because like I do get a lot of shit because I'm mixed. So I was also like, it felt good, you know? So anywho, so I just thought, you know, it was important or whatever. So anywho, so, you know, it got like, I was really hoping that it would like diffuse from that to that point, but dude, it got worse and worse. Really? Like, they kept arguing, and the guy kept getting irate. Even every time like they calmed down, like the 2 guys who were trying to stand up for me would calm down, the guy starts freaking out again and saying like, oh, I don't give a fuck, like I'll do whatever I want. Then he starts putting his hand in his pocket as though he got something on him. He's bugging out, but like we all know he doesn't, because we can see it's the shape of a phone. So it's just like, you're doing so much right now. You're doing way too much.
It's like, I guarantee you, like, you don't want me to call the police and be like, I think he has a weapon. Yeah. I'm like, I guarantee you, I don't think you want that to happen. So
exactly. And the one guy, so one of them, the older gentleman, like had mace on him, he had a knife on him and shit. Yeah, and so he didn't use it. Really. Exactly. That's the thing. I should have both of those freaking things in my purse, but I forgot to, like, when I changed my purses, I didn't double check, which is so stupid. So, you know, he's mentioning like, you should bring that kind of stuff or whatever, but he's like watching the whole situation. But the other man is just like trying to duke it up. He's trying to use his fist. He's just like, I'll fuck you up in here. He's like, just give me one reason to lose it. And like, he's really, like, he was really pissed. Yeah. And old dude kept
one of those days.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking like, this guy has already been really close to the edge. He is waiting to like lay a motherfucker out. Yeah. So the dude kept going, and kept threatening people. And finally, the dude just threw one at him.
Wait, which dude?
The guy who was defending me finally punched the aggressor upside the head.
Nice.
Dude fell into one of the seats.
Nice.
All banged up.
Yeah.
You know, had to you know, recalibrate a little bit. And then he got up and then he was like, you know, I could press charges or da da da. And dude was like, no, I could press charges. And then they're arguing about that. And then dude's like, you know, then there was also points when like we were stopping, you know, because there's a lot of stops in the way. That like the guy who knocked him upside the head, knocked his little coins upside his head, he was like getting off. And was like, you know, we could duke this out, or, you know, outside or whatever the fuck. And he would get off and be like, all right, fine, fuck it. Like, I'm about to bounce. And then the guy would start it up again and be like, that's why you gotta get the fuck off the train. And then dude would jump back on the train. It was just going on forever.
But also, I feel like hitting a guy and then getting off the train while you're still in the train with that dude kind of defeats the purpose of hitting him in the first place. Like, you were doing this to defend her fucking honor, motherfucker. And then you're gonna be like, all right, this is my stop. Right? Like, what the hell?
Well, it was the other guy at least. Yeah,
I know. I get it too, because if it's your stop, it's your stop. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, all right, see you later.
Like, am I gonna go all the way to your house? Exactly. Live, motherfucker. But at the same time, it is. I don't know. I just think it's like, I wouldn't leave personally.
Yeah. And I appreciate that. And I was so thankful. Yeah. Because I really did not want dude to fuck me up. I'm going to tell you the truth. Yeah. I didn't want no smoke with dude. So I was really, truly shocked that he even had that reaction. But I was very thankful that they were there. I felt terrible that it went to that level. Yeah. I thought that them just telling him to chill the fuck out was going to be enough. Yeah. Dude was just like riled up. He just wanted some shit to go down. Yeah. And then, so I left this part out on threads. In the end, though, after, you know, they argued about him knocking him upside the head or whatever, they both got off. No, so they both got off. I wish. They both got off at one of the stops and found one of the metro workers.
Oh, wow.
And I guess they're talking about, like, the other person was harassing the other one or whatever. And I'm just looking like, I really hope y'all don't get arrested. I mean, the guy who was the aggressor, of course, by all means, lock his ass up, at least for the night, just so he knows. Like, don't try and assault women, you're fucking psycho. Yeah. But the guy who was defending me, I'm just like, this really spiraled. I really hope that he didn't get in trouble. So I felt really bad about that. But shit was wild. So I put it on threads. And so it did a lot more than I was expecting it to. But for the most part, people were like, yeah, you got to be careful out here. Don't be stupid. Okay. Oh, wow. I know. Yes. And it was like a 3-parter because it was a lot. I didn't put everything in there. But in the end, you know, a lot of people had something to say.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You know? But there was one dude who was such a jerk who was just like, oh, how convenient that this happened to a content creator. And then other people, just today, I saw people saying like, you know, what a totally fantastic fake ass story or whatever. And I'm like, this really happened. Like, this is not that far fetched. And other people, I will say, shout out to everybody else in the comments. There was I will say, there was like 95% of people who are like, y'all are fucking delusional if you think that she made this shit the fuck up. Also, like, this happens to women all the time.
If you don't, I feel like women for the most part know that this is real. But also, it's like, if you live in LA, or you have any type of, maybe not even just LA, but you have any type of interaction with any type of transients or anything, like men in general, most of the time, but like transients, like, you really realize how shit, because it's like, maybe however many years ago I would have thought, that seems kind of far-fetched. But also, I'm not stupid enough. For me, I'm like, this is the real world is scary, you know what I mean? But it's like, now, all of a sudden, I'm like, what crazy shit happened to you today? Because it's like, downtown LA, are you fucking kidding me? The metro, because again, I never knew how dangerous the metro was until I worked right outside of the fucking stop. And this shit, the metro workers come in every single fucking day. They're beat. They're beat to fucking hell and back.
Believe it.
And I'm sure that they do God's work, but also I
sure
fucking
they
hate
do.
them so much. Some of these guys that come in, I fucking hate them, dude.
Sometimes
they're the
like
worst.
Real,
they're the worst type of guys out there. But
jerks. I will, yeah.
But it's like I also understand too. It's like they deal with a lot.
True that,
I'm sure it's
true
like
that.
they deal with it. I think a lot of the time it's like they're done. They're either just starting or they're like just getting off, and it's like they'll come in and whatever, and they're just assholes. But at the same time, or
We
creeps,
need 'em, though.
or creeps.
Oh.
But again, that's just
No.
like men in general. You're gonna get one or the other.
Hello.
But I think, yeah, it's like you just know crazy shit happens all the time, especially public transit.
Yeah.
And again, someone who
Yeah.
I've probably only taken the metro like maybe under 5 times in my whole life, and they were probably all they were probably all fucking field trips.
Yeah.
I'm like not even gonna lie, I've never taken a public bus before. Only when I went to Peru, and then I feel like that doesn't even count because it was in a fucking different country, and I was with a tour guide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I've never taken
There's
a
levels.
bus. I've never taken public transit. My mom always emphasized how dangerous it was. So, and then my mom always was there to pick us up from school and whatever. My grandpa lived a couple blocks from the school. I would walk to his house after. So my mom was very against public transit for us. Rightly so. I would never let my daughter take the bus alone anywhere.
Not out
Even
here
as an
in
adult,
LA.
even as a grown adult, I'm like, I don't think you should do that. I'll take you. Where do you want to go?
Yeah, because it can be a little bit wild. Like, I really wouldn't want my kid on those buses. I've seen there's a bunch of kids that ride it, and they seem so self-sufficient.
There's so many kids
Shout
that
out
take
to
the
them.
metro to
They
school.
do.
They always, I see them every single day, and it's like,
They make it work.
granted, they go in packs.
True. A lot of them are in groups. Yeah.
As they should, but
Which is
it's
smart.
like, these men are fucking crazy. They don't care if you're a
They
woman alone. They don't care if you're
are.
a group of kids, a group of girls. We've had girls, like young high school girls waiting, like either waiting, in our store or whatever. And they're just sitting there chilling, and a homeless guy comes in just to fucking, and one of these guys, so they were sitting at a high top table, these 2 girls, and this homeless guy comes in and whatever, and we're like, all right, I don't know, who's gonna fight him, you know, or what are we gonna do, or do we just call it now before anything? He literally walks by those bitches, and he goes, bitch, to one of and it was like, to these little fucking 13-year-olds, and he's like, you fucking bitches, and he starts screaming at them.
What the fuck did
So my boss goes out and is like, all right, dude, like, let's get out of here, whatever. And he's like, I just left that fucking while his pants are falling down. There's shit stains on his fucking gray sweat.
Oh
like,
my
I swear to
God. Don't even get me started on that shit.
It's so funny. Dude. So it's like, and it's just, so again, there's nuts out there. And
Absolutely.
It's like, you don't see it necessarily. I feel like we saw different things when we were in the bar industry. We saw a different type of crazy. But
yes,
when you work, I guess because we're both, you just working out there. You're just taking public transit, and then me working right next to this area. It just shows you how wild, because a lot of people have nothing to lose.
Yes.
And it's just, it makes it that much more scarier, because you have to be ready. It's like fight for your life. It's someone, for me, I always say that, I always tell us, someone's dying, okay? Yeah. And it's not going to be me, because I have Ava to get home to, motherfucker.
To the death.
So I'm like, you have to be ready if you're fighting. If someone's, like, especially someone who's homeless, it's like, you gotta be ready to gouge someone's eyes out.
Dude, you gotta be ready
they're gonna go crazy on you. So
yeah, you gotta be careful.
It's scary.
Take something with you. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Take some mace. Yeah, take a mace. Charge your taser. Like, you gotta do whatever you gotta do. So,
they sell those packs of, like, protection, like the keychain, the lanyards for women.
Exactly.
Too.
So I wanted to get one of those keychains. I posted some stuff, like, on my Amazon just in case, because I was like, you know what? Because actually I have used a few of them before, especially because, like, my dad is such a safety nut. He sent me so much shit, so that's why I know he was pissed when this shit, dropped on Threads. He barely even saw it, but when I told him, he was just like, really? Yeah. I felt bad, but you know, I do think that everyone should have something on them. So I put some stuff together, some of my favorites, and I'm telling you, like this one taser I had, you could go 6 months without charging that bitch, and she gonna work. She gonna work. So check it out if you guys want to, you know, protect yourself. But there's a bunch of stuff that you can get. As long as you got mace or something, you should be good.
I think always one of the things that I feel like is very, very important is, I don't know if we've said this before. We probably have, but trust your instincts.
Yes.
Trust the vibe you get from somebody. And again, I feel like I just see this a lot because I know a lot of really nice girls, like really nice, really pretty, really innocent girls, and I'm like, you know, this guy's a fucking weirdo. And it's like, I know you want to be nice. I know. I know confrontation is hard. I trust me, I get it. But it's like, again, at our old age, it's like the amount of times that I feel like we've been put in positions where it's like, if I just wasn't that nice, or if I just, I mean, granted, it's like, it could also be a dangerous situation, I feel like, so I don't know. Well, it's a give and take, but like, your intuition is going to tell you if someone's a weirdo or not. So it's like, as soon as you see a guy and you just get an uneasy feeling, just try to stay away. Like, literally, I think no contact, no communication is probably the best scenario, because then you're not being too nice, they're not thinking you want to fuck them, and then you're not being rude and they don't want to kill you.
Exactly.
You know, so it's just
I think that's where I messed up. I think that me moving was totally smart. However, talking to him about it, explaining, telling him to calm down, I should have just walked away. Should have just completely walked away. More than likely, he would have let it go. Maybe he would have continued talking, but I wouldn't have probably heard him because I would have been on the phone anyway. So yeah, I think in the future, I will just like move away and just, you know, still listen to my gut, but also have something on me. So yeah, just that was my crazy shit. Just had to share it with you, and I had like, I just was not expecting it to go so crazy online at all.
Yeah, that's crazy.
At all. But you know, I think that
hey, clicks are clicks.
I guess so. I mean, what really was wild to me though was that like people were acting like I knew it was gonna go crazy. Like this one dude was like, "Oh, she did it for the views." I'm like, "How did I know it was gonna get views? I posted stuff before and it doesn't get." You're
like, per my last tweet, that was 2 views. Okay,
let me now drop a little some more heat for you.
Yeah, it's like, all right.
I didn't know. I didn't fucking know.
Per my 300 followers on Thread, let's just go ahead. It's like, I don't know. Everyone
haters gonna hate.
Everyone wants to discount.
Everyone's like so, what is it? So cynical of everything. Like, chill the fuck out. Like, women do get assaulted or have attempted assaults happen to them all the time. So trust me, that was just one of the crazy stories that I have of a motherfucker trying to do something crazy. Like, that's not even the craziest shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really about all I got, guys. I mean, I got another story, but it's kind of weak. Basically, it's just about Neo being poly and, like, one of his baby mama's not liking it. And I just thought it was interesting, mainly because now it seems like more and more people are coming out as polyamorous nowadays. I don't know if it's a trend. I don't know. I think it's just a rich people sport.
I think so too.
That's what I think it is.
I think it's a rich people thing for sure.
Yeah. So apparently, Jess Hilarious decided to share with the rest of the world that she went over to Shaquille O'Neal's house, and they were just hanging out. And I guess like he was showing her around his crib, and she realized that he's in a polyamorous relationship. And so it was just, I don't know, it was just interesting, I guess, because
I love how she
it was like
took it upon herself to spread that information about it.
That was the other thing, was like no one knew, no one would have known. She just brought it up on her radio show, and
of course.
She was like, and then I guess she was like, you know, I don't know if he'll invite me again, and I don't know, but she's saying that like he loves her, and that like she thinks that she's gonna be there again very soon for game night. He went on Instagram, and all he said was "damn Jess" underneath the post.
When you're rich enough, I think that you do whatever the fuck you want. And also, too, it's like, if you're, especially I think if you're a rich man, then I think if a woman wants to be with you, then it's kind of like, if you lay down the ground where it's like, hey, it's you and and also meet Allie and meet this girl and meet this girl, I'd be like, okay, shit, I just want a piece of the pie.
Apparently, yeah. I mean, that's what most people want to do.
I can see it. I can see how like rich people do that.
Yeah.
It's the poor people that aren't getting anything out of it that get me.
I know. I'm like, this is like rich people activities. I don't feel like that really
I know
applies
someone
to a lot
from
of
my
people.
high school that's in a polyamorous like I saw a because I never go on Facebook, and I just saw a picture, and it's her and him and her. And I was like, and it's always that way, isn't it? It's always one dude and multiple women.
A lot of times.
But I was like, I just remember just being like, whoa, did not expect that from the person it was. It's like, she was always like really quiet. I mean, she wasn't in my friend group, but she was like really smart, really quiet. And I just remember just thinking like,
okay, girl.
Whatever floats your fucking boat, dude.
I guess so. I mean, like, that's the thing.
You're
like,
not
I'm not
hurting
really
anybody else.
Exactly.
Am I in this? Is it my monogamous relationship that I thought was monogamous all of a sudden not? Then I don't give a fuck.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I feel like let people do what they want to do. I mean, also, I just feel like it's kind of interesting the people that are hating, like Neo's baby mama is hating, but it's like she's also getting a lot of shit because she was the side chick. Like, he was married when they had their first kid together, and then they went back and had another couple kids together.
I don't think
it's like,
really
sis, I don't know if, like...
You're allowed to change your mind, but also I feel like you can't talk shit, though, if you were a part of it. It's again, like, you're allowed to change your mind.
He was never traditional
but
to begin with.
But you shouldn't talk shit about something that you were okay with before, and then all of a sudden, then you're not anymore.
Right. Right.
Or you know what I mean? At least in this context.
Exactly. I don't know. I just think it was more so, I think that she's just being salty, being a little bit messy. And I think that Jess just thought that shit was hilarious. I mean, she just wanted to just tell the whole world.
As per her name.
Yeah. Exactly. She definitely lives up to that name. Yeah, that was good. That was perfect. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, yeah, that's basically everything. I hope that you guys had a good time. That's the rundown for this week. We had a good time. Ooh, and you guys gotta watch our next video. We're going to be doing some other stuff with video games and stuff like that. So check out that video. And if you also want to see our reactions to this whole Bad Baby Alabama Barker music video diss track BS, then stay tuned for that as well. We're going to be doing a video on that one, but it's going to be separate. So can't wait to watch that.
All right.
We'll see you guys on the next one. This is Off the Record with Allie and Natalie. We'll see you guys on the next one. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye, bitches.
Perfect. That shit was just about to die.
I was
thinking.
yeah, I was like, at some point it's gonna die.
I was like,